What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Pros Only TV. You're here with myself, Roland. This is your match reaction for Manchester United versus Granada. But before we begin, I need everybody to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and share this video with one friend. Let's get into it. Manchester United beat Granada in the Europa League 2-0 tonight. And yeah, it was an interesting game, but we're really gonna break it down. So starting lineup: David De Gea back in goal, big one. I expected it though. I feel like he's struggling. I feel like Oli is struggling to really handle this whole keeper scenario. There's been a lot of talk about it in the press over the last week, and especially yesterday. I saw a video. Shout out to 360 TV. They put up a video of Oli on the training field getting caught. Like, he got caught on a mic. Talking about get some smiley pictures of the keepers, because there's a bit of tension going on in the press between them, and it's causing some problems. And then obviously there was that story that was leaked saying that there was a bust up between De Gea and Oli over his treatment and whatnot. So yeah, there was that going on. But yeah, starting lineup: De Gea in goal. I was surprised to see Rashford start. He went off injured on Sunday against Brighton. Limped off, and all of a sudden he's kind of back in the starting lineup. And I feel like, for me, Rashford is not listening to his body and trying to be selfish with it and say, look, I can't start game in, game out. I'm injured, I'm hurt, I'm feeling pain. Do you know what I mean? He needs to be able to speak up and speak on it. I feel like the physios and the medical staff, they need to step in and say, look, the guy's 23, you want to prolong his career, don't need to start him in every game. If he's not fit, he's not fit. He shouldn't play. I don't think that's happening at the club, and it's a bit annoying to kind of witness. Because he's probably taking injections for some of the pain, because I feel like he's requiring a surgery, I believe. And if he's delaying it until the summer, which probably isn't going to happen, because if he declares himself fit, he's going to go to the Euros. He'll probably start games in the Euros, so he's not going to get a rest this summer, and he's not going to be able to recuperate and recover from whatever surgery he may need, and it's just going to probably worsen the injuries that he probably has. But he gets into the starting lineup. The side itself was pretty strong, to be expected, to be honest, because it's a quarterfinal of a European competition. You need to be having your strongest team out there. You're five games away from winning the competition, so you need to put your strongest team out there. No messing about, no changes, none of that. You need to just go for it. We're coming up against a Granada side who are, to be honest with you, for me, they're like the Spanish version of Sheffield United, man. They're like, there was nothing really there today from them. I was expecting, at least knowing that it's a quarter-final, you're at home. You got to try something. You got to push. You got to do something. So, I was a bit surprised at them. Because obviously, them being from the continent, you expect them to have a bit more technical ability about them. And I feel like they have a few technical type players in their side, but I feel like their managers set them up in a certain way because they respected United coming to town and stuff. So that was interesting to see. So obviously, they've set up in a particular way where we've struggled in our previous games in the last 2.5 years or whatever it's been under Oli, where if a team sets up with a low block, we're just not able to break them down. So we had all of the ball in at certain points during the game. We had about 70% possession. It wasn't really possession that was penetrative, trying to go in behind. It was more so possession in front of the defense. And then for me, it kind of opens up the conversation where you're saying that we may need a deep line playmaker in the summer, because a lot of men are screaming DM, but they're not differentiating the difference between the two. A defensive midfielder is if you're looking at that particular angle, you're saying you want somebody who's just going to be sitting deep, protecting the back four, mobile, that person that tackles, intercepts, and breaks up play, and then just kind of makes a simple pass to somebody who's a bit more technical and can find a much penetrative pass going forward. But then me personally, I feel like we need a deep line playmaker, somebody who sits deep, can also throw himself in the mixer and get involved in the tackling and breaking up play, interceptions and whatnot, but then still has the ability to make a forward pass, break a line from deep, how we had Michael Carrick back in the day. And then you've got certain players who've played that role across various clubs in the history of football, to be honest. Like, I mean, one that speaks to me is Pirlo. Another one that speaks to me in the current times, is like Verratti, at PSG. He's a deep line playmaker, a wonderful playmaker. Like, he can sit deep and play make, and he can also get into the mixer and start tackling and stuff. So it's a interesting thing, but it's something I'm not really going to just go into right now. Wait for my analysis pieces on that. But back to the game. I mean, we started okay. It wasn't really anything like too spectacular. Had a lot of possession, but really didn't create any clear-cut chances. We were losing the ball a lot, so we would get into the final third of the field, and then it would just break down. The attack would break down, and then we get the goal. Great goal from Rashford. A good ball from Lindelof. He literally gets the ball off the keeper and hits a long pass, like literally across the field. Rashford made a run, darted back into position to make sure he was onside, and then made the run again. Lindelof spots him, throws that ball up. Rashford brings it down wonderfully, great touch, and then a couple more touches and it's in the net. So it's a good goal from Rashford, and that was pretty much our only and biggest chance in the game in the first half. So I think he took it well, and for him it's 20 goals this season. I think he's hit 20 goals this season, so that's now 2 seasons in a row where he's hit that 20 goal mark, and so he's done pretty well to be able to achieve that. I feel like he's become more consistent, obviously, with his goal scoring and assisting in games, but also I feel like he's becoming more clinical, because I feel like this United side, they don't create too many chances in a game, so for him to be able to take that chance when he gets it is very good. And for me, he seems to be able to take all the hard ones, and then when it's the easy ones that come to him, sometimes he fluffs them. So that's pretty interesting as well. But I mean, it's good to see that he's still amongst the goals, and that's I think this season that's something you can't level at him. He's been able to contribute to the team where certain players haven't been able to, and he's basically carrying certain members of the team, and that's the honest truth. Whether people like what he does or he doesn't, I mean, sometimes I get annoyed with him running down the blind alleys, but if he's scoring a winning goal or at least contributing to us being in a game, you can't complain. So first half ends, apart from that clear-cut chance, nothing else, to be honest. Second half, Granada came out a little bit. They know they're at home. This is their only chance to really kind of make an impression. They came out. They were kind of putting a little bit of pressure on us, but we were kind of going the other way and trying to get that second goal and try and seal the tie and all of that. But to be honest, nothing really was kind of going on. It was kind of a very disjointed game. It was a little bit of a hard watch at times. The team was, I don't know, like it's a rhythm. Like, when you want a particular type of tempo in a football match. I mean, like when I was watching the Bayern Munich game yesterday, Bayern Munich versus PSG, there was a particular type of tempo. Both teams were attacking each other. They weren't. No team was set up to kind of stifle the other one. It was like an ebb and flow. It was back and forth. It was like a basketball game. It's like that is like high quality attacking football, and obviously it sets the difference apart from the Champions League teams and the Europa League teams. I mean, like we were in the Champions League, but I've said this for a few years. I don't feel like we're even at the level of the Champions League yet. I feel like this team is still some way away from being a Champions League level team, and it's not. I don't think it's personnel. I think it's more down to the manager. If we had the manager who was more tactically astute, that could set up the team, because for me, I feel like some of our best footballers are sitting on the bench. Like you see Van der Beek on the bench. Like, he's supposed to be starting in this game, but he's nowhere to be seen. Came on after like 84 minutes today, and it's just like it's a little bit disrespectful, because like, come on, he must be watching that midfield and say like, how am I not getting into this? Like, but it's clear to me that the coaching staff don't know what to do with him. I'm not buying the excuse of, he's not Ollie's player, so he shouldn't play him type of thing. Like, I'm not buying that excuse. I mean, if you're a good footballer, you're a good footballer. Like, it doesn't matter anything. Like, you don't come from the Ajax Academy and graduate to not even make it in football. That doesn't happen anywhere. So it's very strange, and I wonder what's going to happen with him, to be honest, in the summer. But yeah, second half, we get towards the end, and then we get a penalty. Penalties in Manchester United, inevitable. Bruno and penalties, inevitable. It was a very strange one. I think a ball came in from Telles, probably a free kick from Telles or something like that, and then Bruno gets hit in the face or something like that by the defender. Gets booked, goes to VAR. They confirm it, pen, And then Bruno pretty much missed the penalty. He missed it. Like, he didn't want to celebrate like at all because he was a little bit embarrassed because the keeper basically saved it into the net. So he gets that goal, seals the tie. We're through. I don't see us really. I feel like the second leg next week we should just kind of like tie it off. To be honest, it should be just an easy like coasting right through to the semi-finals where we possibly could be playing Ajax or Roma. And even one of those teams is going to be dangerous. So so the second leg there should be some fringe players kind of starting that game. Maybe you see Ahmad in the game or something like that. That'd be good. We move on to our next game on Sunday against Spurs. Should be a very interesting game because against the Big Six, since that Spurs capitulation at Old Trafford earlier on in the season, we haven't been able to really impose ourselves in those Big Six games, except for the game at Man City where they kind of played up into our hands. So it will be interesting to see how we set up. Obviously, it's going to be a strong team. There's not going to be any resting. He's going to play everybody, I guess, in this game against Spurs. And yeah, it's going to be a Mourinho trying to shut us down basically, and it's going to be us trying to force the issue, and it's going to be it could be a very hard watch, or it could be a very dull watch. You just never know with this team at the moment. And then on to the second leg next week. But I mean, for me, the game was hard watch. Glad we're through, but you just have to kind of move on with it, to be honest. I mean, it's our only shot at a trophy this season, so you're hoping that we can go one better than we did last season and actually win the semi-final and get to the final, and then it's anybody's game. But I need to touch on what happened at the Emirates. The racismo. Oh, Arteta, you could not let them get that goal. I'm telling you now, like, yo, Slavia Prague, I was expecting Arsenal to crash their wig. Nah. Racismo. Nah. This is a race war. We're in a race war at the moment, bruv. Nah. Racismo. Agent Racismo. Arteta. Nah. You're doing something at Arsenal, man. It's peak. It is so peak. But yeah, this is your match reaction. Follow the socials that are going to come up next. And I'll see you guys on Sunday when we play Spurs. I'll give you the match reaction after that. Peace.